This video is a presentation of Coronado Industries. It's a NASDAQ-listed stock, trading ticker CNDO. The stock absolutely fell apart in October. If I remember correctly, it was bad phase 2 trial data. The trial results didn't meet the primary endpoints. Stock just plunged, lost about 70-80% of its value. And I haven't dug into the fundamentals of this company at all. It's just a technical look at this chart now, because it's holding a pretty nice base around $1.25 and has managed to put together 2 straight green closes. And it looks like from the RSI there's a little bit of momentum building. So we're going to keep an eye on this chart as a purely technical bottom play. And of course, it's critical that bottom support stays intact. But a lot of time after all the sellers get out with the bad news, these charts can put together a pretty nice bounce. And everything from these indicators is still going to be very early on. See, the MACD is moving upward. Still down plenty low though, down around -1. While giving hints of a trend shift happening, there's still a long ways for it to go to try and get back up near zero. This is a pretty deep PPO ADX pinch. We're starting to see this negative DI curl and come down. Looks like the ADX is flattening. That's giving hints of potential shift in direction. Money flow index still down below 50, but we are seeing the slightest of uptrends to it. Obviously, the accumulation distribution is going to reflect all the selling. A little bit of a turn with the previous 2 days of buying. Again, it's a slight hint of a reversal. Jake and money flow at least appears to be holding a base. Last couple days, moving back upward, signaling that perhaps the selling pressure is starting to subside. CCI moving back through -100. Bottom feeders use that break as a buy point. It will be a hold unless it breaks back down through -100. Full stow still down at oversold territory below 20. Bullish cross just happening, but at these levels you just can't read into that too much. Sure, it's a sign of a shift in momentum, but the full stow is just buried so deep that it's got a long way to go before showing any real bullish momentum in the play. And the trick's a lagging indicator, but it does look like it's flattening as well, and potentially could see a bullish cross. As I mentioned, the RSIs are creeping upward. And now we see the 7, this black line at almost 35. That means it's moved out of oversold territory. So keep an eye on that, try and move towards 50, and see if these longer term RSIs can make their way out of oversold territory as well. For me, the key in this chart is that pincher play setup and the bottom support at $1.25. Stock closed at $1.38. That's a pretty healthy fall to go back if it breaks through that support level. But these plays are obviously very high risk, but with that can usually come a pretty high reward, because the upside off this support level is resistance up around $1.60. And then much heavier resistance up near $1.85, and that's going to run right up to $2. So in this case, it's still pretty close to that support level, and from a percentage standpoint, the upside outweighs the downside, certainly when referencing the idea of this upper end resistance. Now, as I said, I didn't do any fundamental checking into this. I just know the 30,000-foot view of what went on with their price share falling apart. So I certainly would encourage some due diligence as well in combination with this technical analysis of it. The chart has plenty of volume, 1.5 million shares traded, liquidity is not an issue. And I think now it's just time to watch this support level and see if the sellers are all gone, and if this chart's going to show that there's some new buyers coming into the play to try and make a move off this bottom and recapture some of these massive losses. As always, merely my interpretation of the CNDO chart. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.